Well, this is my final recap of the LA Kings season, mainly because that was the final game of the LA Kings season. Regular season is over. Playoffs start next week. The matches have been set. I am looking forward to Flames versus Colorado because A, I love Colorado, and B, I hate the Flames. So really hoping that the Flames can pull that off. We also have Vegas Sharks in round 1. And I gotta root for the Sharks on this one, guys. Cannot stand Vegas. Was so gratifying to kick their ass tonight. Final game of the season. It was gonna completely suck and just cap off the worst season ever. Or it was gonna be great and still cap off the worst season ever. So at least we had something not awful to go out on. And I really do enjoy beating Vegas. It didn't look like we were going to for a little bit there. They came out pretty strong, had the first 3 shots on goal, held us to no shots on goal for the good 5 minutes there, and then kept racking up their shots like 7-3. And while Quick was looking pretty good, he had a couple of kind of Jedi-like saves. He even had one of those, I want to say Titanic saves where he like sprawled over and looked like he was, like leaning like this on the bed waiting for someone. Anyway, it was still concerning to see quite how well Vegas was playing until we got our first goal. It was all Kovalchuk. Literally all Kovalchuk, unassisted. The puck somehow managed to get loose in the neutral zone, skidded towards Vegas' zone. Kovalchuk picked it up, deked around a bunch of guys, totally schooled Fleury, and 1-0 LA Kings began their surge back to playing relatively good hockey. It was a very seesaw-like game in the first 2 periods, like all Vegas and then all Kings, because from about 8.5 minutes into the first period, Vegas had 12 unanswered shots. Like, literally did not have a shot on goal from the 8.5 minute mark to the end of the first period, and they had a power play in that time. The Kings just completely took it over, which was awesome, especially when they got their second goal. And this was thanks to Jeff Carter. Assist to Kyle Clifford, who has been my unsung hero of the season. They have not officially announced any of those that the players vote on and the press votes on and things like that. And they usually do in the last game of the season. And usually it's Trevor Lewis. But this season, I am very clearly giving it to Kyle Clifford. So he sets up the shot, takes a pretty neat shot, and there's a lot of traffic in front, and Carter tries once, tries twice, and then 3 times finally gets it past Fleury, and it's 2-0 Kings. At which point they take the penalty I'd been talking about, and you're like, yeah, that's a pretty LA Kings thing to do. But kept their momentum going. Didn't let them get a shot at all in said penalty kill. And ended up getting a power play at the end of the first period that really just kept them going. Like 12 unanswered shots and 2 unanswered goals was really good, which is why I expected when they came back with about 30 seconds in the second period that they would screw it up. They did, but it took them a little longer than that. All Vegas. Again, all Vegas for the first 10 minutes. This pendulum swung completely back the other direction. Kings barely had any shots. Didn't for, again, a good 6 or 7 minutes there. Vegas, meanwhile, is catching up and exceeding us in the shot totals. And Quick's looking okay. But, defense, guys, we should really pick it up here. Which is when Dustin Brown makes a beautiful pass to Matt Roy. And he has an even more beautiful shot that gets past Fleury, and you're like, wait, how are we 3-0? We certainly did not earn even remotely the time by Fleury in order to get the pass. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this makes more sense because about 17 seconds after that, they scored their first one, and then like 2 minutes after that, they scored their second, and suddenly it was 3-2, and it was so fast. So fast, it went from 3-0 to 3-2. And Vegas was not clawing their way back in. They were sailing their way back into the game. There was no defense. Absolutely pathetic when it came to defense in the second period. Like, seriously, guys, you can't leave that many Vegas players unopened. What are you doing? And both goals were completely obvious. Like, anyone who was watching the play would be like, well, that guy's undefended, so he's probably going to score. Oh, look, there he did. So that was concerning. And 3-2 suddenly wasn't looking that good. Like, having a 3-goal lead, you're like, yay, that's awesome. Oh, wait, now I only have a 1-goal lead. Oh, okay, slightly concerned. And then Trevor Lewis misses the most open of open nets I have ever seen. Reminded me of Dustin Brown 3 or 4 games ago, where he had super open net and hit the post. You're like, guys, you're killing me here. Ugh. And their bad play continued when they took a penalty with a minute left. Like, that was really the time I'm sitting there and going like, yeah, it'd be pretty LA Kings to do something really stupid. Like, instead of get the McFlurry in the last minute of the game, they would, give up a goal in the last minute of the game. And sure enough, that's when they took the penalty. And you're like, really, guys? This is how you want to end your season? This is how you want to go out? After everything you have put us through this season, this is how you want to end it? No, it wasn't. They managed to make their way through the first minute of the penalty, and then they got to the third period, and things stopped seesawing, like completely lopsided one direction to the other, and they evened out pretty well, which is why it was so relieving to see the Kings get their 4th goal of the game. It was a power play goal. It was Anze Kopitar's first power play goal of the year, which is disturbing on quite a few levels, but well-deserved. There was a lot going on at the front of the net there, and Fleury just kind of got bested by a mad scramble, and Kopitar was the one that got it in, pass from Brown, so Brown's second assist of the game. He was the first star of the night, and between him and Clifford, it's actually hard for me to tell who is my number 1 star of the season, but both of them have really stepped up and played some spectacular hockey this season. So thank you to Brown, and thank you to Clifford, and to everybody else on the ice. We did have a new player, actually, who took the ice for the first time in the last game of the season. Not really sure what happened there, but his name is like Lizotte, or Lizotte, or depending on where he's from, how you pronounce that. He's good. He played number 46. He had some pretty impressive speed, and there are a couple of plays where I liked his tenacity. He just didn't give up on the puck. Very much like battling along the boards, and really happy to grind that out. But with the speed, and I got to see a couple of his shots, so he looks like he's going to be a pretty well-rounded player. So that's exciting for next season. I'm also really curious to see how many of the veterans come back. Like, Kopitar will, Doughty will, even though he has 1 even strength goal this entire season, and that even strength goal was an empty net goal. So it only counts on a technicality. He didn't actually get a puck past the goaltender on the even strength, which I know he's a defenseman, but I wasn't super impressed with his defense this season either. Yeah. You got Carter, Toffoli, hoping Martinez doesn't go. Really curious to see if Quick comes back. It's going to be an interesting offseason. Desjardins, in his press conference at the end of the night, I think he knows he's not going to be invited back to the organization. We are officially second last, by the way, whether we won the game tonight or not, by New Jersey winning. We have the second best odds to win the lottery. First is Ottawa, whose pick is actually for Colorado because that came in the Duchesne trade. So draft lottery is actually coming up. The picks for the lottery are coming up, so we'll know who has the draft pick. The draft, of course, is still in June. But yeah, going to be an interesting offseason for the Kings. Anyway, to finish up this game, we scored goal number 4 and then kept playing some good enough hockey to continue our win streak here. Kovalchuk had a nice bookend. He got the empty net goal in the last minute of the game. Pretty much as soon as they pulled Fleury, Kovalchuk got a hold of it. And you can actually see Dustin Brown in the background celebrating before he even takes the shot. It's pretty great. So he scored the first and he scored the last. And it was a little bit of a kind of an FU to Willie Desjardins, who had him as a healthy scratch for a few games. It's like, yeah, I got this. So, yeah, not a great season. Really looking forward to coming back in October and having a better one. Grundstrom's going to be really good next season. He had some great penalty kill and power play minutes, actually, this game. Looking forward to seeing how he comes up through the ranks. Got a lot of newbies, a lot of rebuilds. We'll see which draft pick we get and how much that can help us. And if we could get Coach Q, guys, I would be so happy. It's so exciting. So enjoy the playoffs. Follow me along on Twitter because I will be live tweeting as much of those games as I can. The Kings may be done, but hockey is still going. So enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs and go Kings go.